Rotor was incorporated in 1999 to provide quality air-to-air energy recovery devices, desiccant dehumidification, and evaporative pad products. To ensure the highest quality and best performing products available, strategic partnerships have been developed with Inventus of Sweden, manufacturers of energy recovery equipment. With facilities in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Rotor provides products and services to the North American continent as well as Central and South America. Key personnel provide over 50 years of combined experience with energy recovery and desiccant dehumidification application and systems design. Fabrication and assembly capabilities allow Rotor to provide durable, quality products. Flexibility of design allows for custom products to be developed to meet specific customer needs. Extensive technical support in design and application of the products gives our customers an added advantage. The ability to duplicate or remanufacture competitive rotary desiccant and energy recovery products provides customers with a complete range of available options. Extensive stocking of product ensures minimum delivery times. All replacement parts are maintained in stock for immediate delivery. Rotor provides a range of TAC and SAC series rotary energy recovery cassettes that can process from 500 to 40,000 CFM of conditioned air, both in latent, total energy, and sensible heat transfer configurations. The range of PPSC series dehumidification cassettes can provide 75 to 50,000 CFM of dehumidified air with dew points down to minus 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Evaporative pad products are provided for a full range of applications and economy via cut-to-size, container load shipments. At the Baton Rouge, Louisiana facility, the desiccant dehumidification products are manufactured through a detailed process. The media is received in a block form. This material goes through several manufacturing steps in preparation for insertion into the rotor frame. The frames are constructed using a central hub with heavy gauge spokes attached by welding. An outer ring or band is wrapped around the perimeter to complete the frame. Media segments have adhesive applied and are then inserted into the spoke assembly. The outer band of the rotor is pulled tight to secure the media within the rotor frame. Secondary processing provides for a smooth, flat rotor face. A high-temperature finish is then applied to the exposed media and baked to ensuring a uniform color and durable surface. Final processing ensures that the baked surface of the rotor is smooth. High-capacity sealed ball bearings are pressed into the hub, providing an integral lifetime bearing for the product. All products are then carefully packaged as appropriate to ensure protection during transport. Desiccant dehumidification rotors and cassettes are used for deep drying of process and otherwise conditioned airstream for a variety of commercial and industrial applications. The PPSC series desiccant dehumidification products are provided in two basic configurations. PPSC 220-100 through 770-400 size are constructed of formed 304 stainless steel panels. The Rotor desiccant dehumidification media is a corrugated fiberglass substrate with silica gel desiccant formed in situ within the matrix. This provides a durable, high-temperature, high-absorption capacity material. As the airstream passes through the wheel, it is dried by the gel and simultaneously reactivated through the small one-quadrant section. This view also shows where the seals are located next to the face of the cassette. The drive motor, small but very durable, is fixed within the unit and drives an XL series timing belt that encircles the dehumidification wheel. A nylon roller on a spring idler maintains the belt tension. As the cassette turns, you see that on the opposite face, the post is to the left, mirroring the previous face where the post was to the right. In the center of the cassette, a machine screw is used to hold the wheel's shaft. There is a single heavy-duty machined spacer washer to locate the wheel. The seals, which are made of a Viton material, are attached using a sealing strip. Instead of being comprised of steel panels, the desiccant dehumidification structural frame series is constructed using stainless steel square tubing of varying sizes, the largest being approximately 3 inches square, which is coincident with a 10-foot diameter wheel size. This product is generally used in industrial applications, from investment casting to make golf club heads, to candy coating, to the pharmaceutical industry, to the manufacture of lithium batteries. It contains a seal like the smaller cassette and incorporates the same silica dehumidification material, but there are a few variations. Instead of being driven by a belt, this particular unit drives a number 40 chain that engages a sprocket around the full perimeter of the wheel. And instead of being fixed, the motor is attached to a plate held in place using spring tension. The plate is equipped with a pair of locking nuts to adjust the tension of the springs. Detailed maintenance instructions on chain tensioning are included in a manual we offer at rotorsource.com. In the center of the cassette, you see that it is slightly different in terms of how the shaft is mounted. For this product, a socket head Allen screw passes through a solid block of steel called a spacer plate, which includes a lip to prevent it from rotating. That plate has an internal D shape that is mated with the end of the wheel shaft, securing it in place while the wheel rotates around it, while also protecting the bearing located behind it from dust and dirt. This view also reveals the attachment for an angle iron piece of stainless steel instead of a sealing strip. Used to position the seal within the reactivation duct, its orientation allows these cross seals, which are heavier duty, to be removed without having to take the desiccant wheel out of the cassette. One of Rotor Source's services is to recore or replace the media in old rotors. This is a competitor's rotor that has disintegrated over time. In this case, we have removed the media from the old rotor frame. We create a new plug or center to replace the old media, then reinstall it into the pre-existing rotor frame. We also include a spoke structure and ship it back to the customer to retrofit into the existing equipment. The advantage of the recore is that the metallic elements of the rotor frame are preserved. This guarantees a perfect fit because the rotor frame that comes out is the one that goes back in. Energy recovery rotors and cassettes recover the waste heat otherwise lost in exhaust air streams when ventilating a building. There are 3 different types of cassette within energy recovery. In the energy recovery sheet metal series, the substrate looks the same as the previous series, but it is substantially different. It is made out of aluminum instead of fiberglass, and it is covered with a light coating of desiccant, about 50% of the mass. Also, the construction is different. The casing is made out of galvanized steel in lieu of stainless. A steel tube is centrally located without additional support, and 50% of the wheel is used for airstream in each direction. Another difference is the way in which this product is sealed. Instead of seals made of Viton for high-pressure differential, this uses a seal that is made of a layer brush and polypropylene wiper combined. You can see on either side where these seals are located. As it rotates, you can see a small angular section known as a purge. In the center of the wheel, there is a dust cover, and behind it, a sealed bearing. Within the post, a large machine screw is used to hold the end of the shaft. This is the smallest series of energy recovery cassette. It comes in a thickness of 100 millimeters, about 4 inches for the depth of the wheel, and is available in sizes up to 54 inches in diameter. This particular product operates using a parallel reduction gear, a long-life motor, and is driven using a perforated belt. A panel has been removed for clarity. The belt can be adjusted to make it tighter over time and is not required to remove the wheel in order to change the belt. The system uses a conventional sheave, making it readily available for replacement. The next larger size of energy recovery, the partial frame series, still uses a panelized construction, but includes much more of a sub-frame to support the wheel. It also contains a cross member and a T shape at the bottom of the central member to supply additional support and increased rigidity. This is a single-pieced wheel, all wound, and as it turns, you can see the spoke structure that is internal to the wheel while it's rotating. On this face of the cassette, you see the purge section. In the center is a plate, and concealed behind it is a center bolt that supports the shaft. It's mounted on a small plate in this configuration to allow for adjustment. On top of the frame, a lifting lug is mounted that comes standard. After a panel is removed for clarity, the drive mechanism is revealed. This series uses a right-angled drive motor, 1/2 horsepower. The plate to which the motor is mounted is free to rotate. It has a tension spring at the bottom, and the right-angled drive motor drives the belt to the left. The seal is also visible here, which is slightly larger on this series of cassette. Typically, this middle series is between 60 and 90 inches in diameter. As it turns to the opposite face, you can see that there is no purge. The next series in energy recovery, the full frame series, is the largest. This series, which is 96 inches and larger, includes several changes. First, the media is segmented, which means it can be removed from the cassette one section at a time. Second, the entire frame, which is welded aluminum, provides exceptional rigidity and structure. It has internal spokes in addition to the true separator spokes that allow for removal. In the center, behind a large steel block, is an adjustment bolt that retains the shaft of the cassette, holding it up. This large block can move up and down and left and right to accurately position the wheel in the cassette. The sealing material, attached to an angle, allows for ease of seal removal. The upper and lower half of the cassette can come apart for shipping to allow for overland transit of large pieces. This series extends from approximately 96 to 138 inches, and at the largest end of the spectrum, the cassette size is tall enough to require special transport. In this cassette, a right-angle drive motor is used on a similar plate. The spring is heavier, and the motor is a 1-horsepower-sized motor. In this angle, the split in the cassette can be seen between the upper and lower halves, but most importantly, you can see the joining between the cassette segments. 2 longer bolts allow for adjustment of the outer band of the cassette to retain compression on the media. This feature is unique to our cassette over some of the others in the industry and why the materials tend to last longer in use. Additionally, we provide a collection of evaporative pad materials, which are used in a variety of agricultural and horticultural applications, as well as comfort conditioning. These materials are used to interact air with water to both moisten and cool the air stream. Here, the cross-hatched construction of these materials is shown. In particular, you can see that there are 2 different cell sizes. On the right is a corrugation at a 7 mm flute height, and on the left, a flute height of 5 mm. This is an example of an evaporative pad material mounted in a frame. At the top, water is introduced into the upper channel, or gutter, and then passes through the evaporative pad by gravity. It is then recirculated using a pump, and as air passes through the face of the frame, you begin to cool the air toward its wet bulb. This is a very effective method of cooling in arid climates, and is used in any number of applications from inexpensive comfort conditioning to poultry house cooling, and at the inlet for gas turbines used to produce electricity. RotorSource also provides useful software applications available for download. At our website, rotorsource.com, go to the Download section. After downloading either the energy recovery or desiccant dehumidification software, click on the installed program. This will bring you to the splash screen. Select Continue. The energy recovery program features a rough schematic of the wheel and works using parameters for outdoor air, the air which will be supplied to the space, the air which is returned from the space, and the air which will be exhausted as spent exhaust. The program also includes a model selection, which is considered against our drawings, price, schedule, and other aspects. As an example, let's say you want to process 6,000 CFM of outdoor air. Using the moisture calculator, you can input a wet bulb, a dry bulb, and then calculate the humidity ratio. You can then use the paste button and paste the outdoor air condition here. Similarly, you can work with the return air. Using a summertime example of 75 degrees and a 65 wet bulb, you can calculate the humidity ratio and paste for the return air. In this case, the model selected was a TA54. As you look at the recovery efficiency and the velocity, you can see that this is not a good selection. Increasing the model size by simply clicking on the next size model increases the recovery efficiency and reduces the pressure loss through the wheel. Additionally, other variables can be input and calculated using this application to help determine the proper selection and use of this product, including rotor speed, deck-to-deck pressure, elevation, and purge. This file can be printed to an Adobe Acrobat PDF, which makes it very easy to send to others as an email attachment. The printout also has a small section of specifications as well as our address. The desiccant dehumidification software is set up similarly. Air to be dried, dry supply air, air that is used to reactivate the wheel, and reactivation exhaust air. This particular product requires the use of a heater. It also includes a moisture calculator which functions similarly. In this case, if you were to treat the same 6,000 CFM of air at the same outdoor conditions of 95 degrees at 78 wet bulb, you would be able to get a unit selection similar to the other program. You can also change the air used for reactivation to make sure that you adequately represent the amount of moisture which is used. Once you've made a selection, you can also choose to use a high value of heat, which raises the heat and temperature, reduces the moisture, or you can choose to use a low value of heat, in this case 248 degrees, which gives a lesser dehumidification. You can also look at the next larger size wheel, as with the energy recovery program, to then look at the different effects. In the event that a user is using a direct-fired natural gas furnace, use of the indirect button will add the moisture created by combustion such that it is represented in the exhaust air. Again, this program selects different models which are then used with our drawings and our data sheets to give the best representation of submittal for selection, and both programs include an elevation input for different heights of elevation. Our website also includes a download for a very detailed energy recovery technical manual. It covers the installation, operation, and maintenance of the product, including information on a segmented system, a drive belt, maintenance procedures, such as removing a wheel if necessary, adjustment of the outer band, installation and removal of segments and bearings, checking on the performance of the system, troubleshooting, parts, motor consumption, and engineering drawings that are suitable for use in submittals. There is also a high-pressure supplement which covers operation of the system using dual rows of seal, startup procedure, a material safety data sheet, and our warranty. Similarly, for dehumidification, we have another manual covering the same aspects. It covers as well the installation, operation, and maintenance of the dehumidification product. Both manuals are set up to be user-friendly, and again, this manual ends with a material safety data sheet and warranty. Finally, there is the evaporative cooling product. A downloadable brochure details the operation of the product, advantages and disadvantages, and examples of various applications.